late and drop some kids off. We'll call the meeting to order. It's our regular meeting for January 27th. We'll start with a moment of reflection and then get into the approval of the agendas. So, starting with the reflection now. All right. For approval of the agendas, we have two consent agenda with a bunch of minutes and correspondence items. Anyone wishing to pull from the consent agenda? Otherwise, a motion to approve. Councillor Patel makes a motion to approve. Called to question, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion is carried. And then the regular meeting agenda, I've heard of no additional items. It's a very short agenda. We have two agenda items, so if all goes well, we'll be done soon. But if there's no additional items, a motion to approve the agenda is presented. Councillor Fox makes the motion. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion is carried. Anyone have any comments for the good of council? I'm not sure it's been too crazy of an eventful 2 weeks. I know we did have the power outage. I think that was 2 weeks ago, just before our council meeting, right? Was it? Yeah. I do have a meeting on Friday with neighbor Kainai Reservation, and hopefully the new chief is there. So that'll be Friday morning, so looking forward to that. Anyone else have anything they would like to highlight over the last couple weeks? See, soccer and baseball registrations are getting going, so that's exciting for the community. We had a meeting with our MLA. That was 2 weeks ago as well. I don't know if we highlighted it then, but I still thought that was a good meeting. Yeah, if there's no other discussion, then we will move on to unfinished business, of which we have one, and we'll ask our planner Gavin Scott to introduce bylaw 1984.
Thank you, Mr. Bear. This evening we have back from considerable length of wait the bylaw 1984. This evening we will be considering second and third reading. The process has first began in August 26th, 2024 for first reading, followed by the public hearing, which was held, or after the advertisement of September 4th and 11th, the public hearing was held on September 23rd, and it was closed pending the final subdivision and purchase of land at the rear of this property. And that process did take some time. The final plan was registered on January 9th of this month, and from that we understand that the process is ready to proceed going forward. Now, the landowner's intent with the property is to redesignate it from residential R to residential multi-unit. With the changes in the land use bylaw that are forthcoming, you could perceive that this would be redesignated once again in that process to residential multi-unit 1. The request is that the new proposal will allow for 3 suites in the existing building. The existing building has 2 suites in the lower level and the main suite on the upper floor. So that's the basis of the proposal for your discussion this evening at second reading.
Very good. Thank you very much. Anyone prepared to make a motion for second reading of bylaw 1984? Councillor Fox makes the motion to proceed with second reading of bylaw 1984. Does the council have any questions for administration? Councillor Monteith?
So the movement from multi-unit to multi-unit one is an automatic thing that will happen?
It'll become necessary with the adoption of the new bylaw. That process will be coming up. As we know, we're going through some additional changes with that bylaw. Staff has put together the mailing list for all the multi-unit properties. Some of them will be moving from MU to MU1, some will be moving to MU2. And at that time, we'll have to capture this property as all others to get the zoning corrected. So again, that would be the limited, once again, limited to less than 4 units per the title.
Because I don't have trouble with multi-unit one. I have trouble with multi-unit because that's wide open. So how long are we?
So I could give you certainly the option that you don't pass first reading. You wait until the next round that the bylaw is passed, and then I'd be forced to tell you that this would be an MU1 property because the MU would be removed from the bylaw. So if that's your concern, there is that waiting that, we could go about that. Certainly, I know the applicant who is in here this evening is seemingly always in a rush to get things done. I don't know what, I know that his property has been sitting for some time, and that's the rationale for his rush. But
Yeah, I think that the applicant has made it clear that there is not going to be any intent to go anything above 4 units, correct?
that's as we understand it, yes.
So motions on the floor. Any other questions for administration? Has there been any, sorry, Councillor Monteith?
Are they bound by their application here for 3 units? Like, can they change their mind?
They are not. As I have often indicated to council, the district is pretty much wide open for whatever use is listed there. So the way it is structured right now, the permitted uses are up to 4 units. The discretionary B, which would go to MPC, is anything beyond the 4 units. And so there is that discretion, but you would have to naturally have a reason to deny if MPC was to review this and they wanted more than 4 units. Then it would be, okay, what would be the planning reason you would deny it? Because perhaps the building could hold more capacity, that upper floor, and whether or not the process would lend itself to some planning reason to deny it if it was expanded.
How long till that new bylaw comes to us, do you know?
Wink, wink. I do know that as soon as Anthony is back, it is the intention of staff to bring it back for the second public hearing, after which we will be discussing changes with council. There are some that will be necessary as information has come forward. Staff ourselves have found a few things that we'd like to bring forward. So we're looking at best case scenario, I think you're into March before it's adopted. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and I think there is still some guardrails, right? It is above 4 units is discretionary B. There's no way they're going to come and just automatically start doing 13 units in there. It's not possible. And MPC is a good 4 to 4 week process as well, by time application's made. So I personally see no concern. We have council representation on MPC as well, so we can encourage that direction as well. If if there, because we've had a number of concerns raised with council, and I think council's made it pretty clear we don't want anything more than 4 units on that property. Any other comments, feedback? Councillor Patel?
I just feel that I think we shouldn't left it to the MPC. I'd be more comfortable waiting for the bylaw to be passed first and then get approved afterwards. Just that's my comment.
So you would prefer to wait? Or, okay,
For this bylaw to be, like, I don't want the MPC to pass. Like, I don't want to go towards MPC. I would rather,
either way it would.
I know, but I would rather wait until the. That's my personal opinion, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, any other comments, Councillor Fox?
Oh,
Can I change my motion and propose a new one? No, I can't.
No, we can't change a motion because this is a change of bylaw, right? So
Right.
we either don't approve the bylaw, period,
Okay.
unless there is, because I don't know what we would edit. There's nothing really to.
Well, I would just propose that we table it until the approval of the new land use bylaw.
Yeah, do you want to speak to that more, Gavin? Like personally, I don't know that there should be a concern.
yeah, I can see it both ways. I mean, it's just council's ability to either have trust in the existing proposal, that the permit that comes in is going to be what the applicant has indicated, or you choose the other route and you wait. We do have a motion on the floor. That motion would have to be friendly amended, I think is the only way to change it with a tabling. It's not that it moved forward, but Lisa could clarify that for us. Yeah, it's a difficult situation. I can see some hesitancy.
Because quite realistically, unless they're going to build onto the building, they're not going to be able to fit more than 4 units in that building.
Yes, understood. It's the upper floor that you just went. It's the upper floor with all its floor area that could hold at least another unit, but then access and all the construction, it'd be very difficult to modify that upper floor.
Yeah, the building permit issues they're going to run into with trying to modify that to anything more than 3 or 4 units would be not worth their time.
Yeah, because it would certainly take that upper floor, become more like an apartment, as right now it seems like more of a house situation. Certainly it has all the fire safety stuff with the sprinkler system and all of that is existing in there. So again, it can, I really can't speculate as to what the intent of the applicant is. I only know that he has indicated 3 suites.
Okay. All right. Well, I suppose it is up to council. If council wants to entertain a friendly amendment to wait, I think the risk is we don't know how long that's going to wait period's going to be. March is the earliest. It could be longer than that based on how things go too. Councillor Monteith?
If we defeat this motion, do we have to go back to square one, do we not, when it comes forward again?
Oh yeah, then you're delaying it like 6 to, is it 12 months before you can re-entertain it?
Yes, there would be a 6-month delay. if you defeat the bylaw. And the wording there, I should actually look at it because there may be some bylaws have little clauses like unless council sees fit. So just let me look and then I'll give you the answer. Okay, here's the wording. From section 6.1 of the administration section, subsection 8. Where an application for an amendment to this bylaw has been refused by council, another application that is the same or similar shall not be accepted for a period of 6 months following the date of the decision of the refusal. Now, in that, you could read in that should bylaw 2000 go forward, that the application would substantially have changed with the request to MU1 or 2. And that would let us out of that 6-month clause.
Councillor Monteith?
In lieu of delay, I think we have to have trust in the system that what is applied for will be there. We have some remedies, but to go back and start at stage one, I don't think that's good. So I will be voting in favor.
Okay. Councillor Fox, you made the motion. Are you still wishing to ask for a friendly amendment? Or are you good with it as it is? 'Cause I don't know that a friendly, yeah. Really, we just don't go to third reading then, and then it stays open for, I don't know how long you're allowed to have a second reading open?
And surely that could be another option, that you pass second and pause at third.
For how long, do you know?
You have up to 2 years to pass this bylaw.
Crazy.
I'm okay with leaving my motion stand then.
Okay, motion is on the floor. Any other discussion or questions? Has there been any other concerns or issues raised regarding this bylaw? I imagine the reading,
Unless senior staff has anything they want to add, I'm not aware of anything.
I think Kelly has had a couple of emails, but nothing new or substantial that would change any of the situation.
based on the public hearing we had. Okay, the motion is on the floor. This is second reading from bylaw 1984. If there's no further discussion or debate, call it the question. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion is carried. And where does council stand on third reading of this bylaw? Do we want to proceed with third? Is anyone willing to make the motion? Either get it off the table and be done, or delay until sometime when the land use bylaw is passed. How would that work? Because right now it's still multi-unit.
Yeah, we would require an amendment at that stage to change the designation simply from MU to MU1.
And that's not an issue.
No,
That's not a substantive change to the bylaw.
no, it's just a straightforward, just a simple textual change.
And at the earliest, sometime in March, you said? Which, like you said, there could be a lot of other, go ahead.
Yes, we're waiting for that discussion with council to see how much there is to work on going forward.
Good. All right, so anyone prepared to make a motion for third reading on bylaw 1984? Councilor Poitras makes the motion. Third reading is on the table for bylaw 1984. think the caution with this is if we do third reading and it fails, then we have to start over again. So I think if there is an indication to fail this bylaw, then I think it's better we request to pull the motion, right? So any further discussion, debate on bylaw 1984? Yep, Councillor Butchers. No battery?
There we go. Gotta hit the power button first. Yeah, while I do understand, the potential risk of, all of a sudden there's more units planned in this building than we had anticipated. Personally, I think that risk is pretty low. Like Jim said, you gotta put some trust in people. And so I'm comfortable right now where it stands, proceeding to approve this bylaw. I think it'll get things going on that property, and I don't anticipate, again, we have some recourse if something weird comes up, we have some recourse for it. So I'm comfortable moving forward with this bylaw.
Very good. Thank you, Councillor Butchers. If there's no further discussion or debate, then I will call to question. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Planner Gavin Scott, hanging out with us on a nice Monday night. Yeah, no train. Moving on to new business number 2, and we have a request, and we will pass this over to our new Director of Operations, Brendan Orr.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So the recommendation is that Council approves the 2025 capital budget as amended to move the arena dressing room rubber flooring project, originally estimated at $150,000, to the 2025 in the adjustment amount of $92,000. This is to achieve cost savings, address some safety concerns, and enhance the facility efficiency.
Very good. Anyone prepared to make a motion based on the recommendation? Councillor Patel. So really, it's moving it from the 2026 capital budget to the 2025, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Councillor Monteith.
I'm presuming the money for this is coming out of reserves?
I believe it is. When I talked to Chris, yeah, so it is coming out of reserves, yes.
Very well. It's good to see the quote came in less than what we had anticipated. That's a positive thing. Along with the contingency. Any other comments, questions? Councillor Butchers.
Yeah, I was just looking at this product, the ProXL dual layer vulcanized rubber tiles. And my concern is, I'm just not well, my concern is this appropriate for a swimming pool dressing room? Like, I don't know if that was specifically talked with the supplier.
Yep, so the supplier, we talked to them directly about the conditions that it would be used in. We also had a site visit where they came and looked at what the conditions were. So yeah, it was approved for this, and it will also support the cleaning equipment that we have to help with the hallway in front of the pools and those kinds of things to make sure that we can do a deep clean as compared to what we have currently.
Perfect. Yeah, I know some of these rubber products are more porous than others, and so you certainly don't want something that's going to be like a sponge absorbing water. And so, okay, that was just my only question.
And things growing inside.
If I could just, the floor that's currently in the lobby of the arena is very similar to what this quote is for, so it's not porous and should be, yeah, it's just a slightly different material, but very, very
Okay. Yeah, when I looked online, it looked it seemed to be similar to what we have in the gym, which is a little bit more porous. But yeah, the lobby stuff I think is the right way to go.
Very well. Any further discussion on the motion to amend 2025 capital budget? The highlighted area on the revised is what's being changed. There's no further discussion. We'll call it the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion is carried. There are no administrative reports and no in camera, so we will adjourn for the day. Thank you very much.